Hi, I'm Deb from Greenland, and I'm in our beautiful botanic garden today to talk to you about fertilizing. And we're just going to do fertilizing 101. So nothing too technical, nothing too scientific, just giving you some good basics on why you should be fertilizing and what its benefits are. We have two different types of fertilizer. We have synthetic and we have organic. So first I'm going to talk about the synthetics. We do have mosquitoes here too, so if you see me slapping, you can tell it's already May because we're starting to get mosquitoes. So with our synthetics, what I wanted to say to you is that your plant does not know the difference between a synthetic and organic. The synthetics just work faster and a different way. They also are energy charged because they are made in a factory as opposed to through nature. So they work a lot quicker and the plant may perform a little bit more efficiently for you or give you more flowers quickly because of that. So in our gardens right now, there's a lot of plants that are coming up. You may have some evergreens that are looking a little bit pale, or if they have dry spots, of course, you're clipping that off. But if they're not the full green, what you can do is use something like the 30-10-10. Now, let me tell you about the numbers. The first number is nitrogen, 30% nitrogen. The 10-10, the middle number is phosphorus. Go back. The nitrogen actually will make things green. The phosphorus, the middle number, will make the plant help grow its roots as well as flowers and fruit. And the last number is potassium, which basically helps with strength against diseases and that sort of thing. So the way to remember it is actually you can go up, down, and all around. That's what I often tell customers. Nitrogen up, the phosphorus goes down, plus flowers and fruit, and then basically all around plant health. With the 30-10-10, because it's high in nitrogen, what I recommend for evergreens is always this number. So you're just going to make sure your soil is wet, mix it up according to directions. Every name brand has a slightly different dilution, but according to directions, not too much, not any more, and basically pour it on once a week or so, and you will see a big difference within a few weeks. If you're wanting to help revive maybe some perennials that are not looking so great or some shrubs that you had to clip back, then what you can do is use something more like a 15-30-15. That is 15% nitrogen, 30% phosphorus. Phosphorus, flower fruiting, and helps with root development. So it helps regenerate those roots. But the flower and the fruiting are very important, especially when we're talking annuals like this. I basically have two types of synthetic fertilizer in my closet, and it's always the 30-10-10, 15-30-15. You don't need to go any wider than that because this is for houseplants, for perennials, for annuals. You're wondering, well, do I have to fertilize these guys? I can tell you the only way that they look this good, like when you're buying them at Greenland, is because we've been feeding them all along. I often call annuals and tomatoes like hungry teenagers. They just wilt and get very cranky if you're not feeding them. So it's really important that you are feeding them. If you're using 15-30-15 or 30-10-10, what you want to make sure is that you're always watering your soil first and then doing your fertilizer. We don't want to be fertilizing on dry soil. The third one that I want to talk to you about in the synthetics is one of my favorites and one that I think that no matter what you're planting should always be used, and it's called Root Booster. It is 5-15-5, so the middle number is helping with the roots, but what it has is an acid in there, and that basically is a rooting hormone. That rooting hormone helps promote the hair root growth on plants. So as you know, whenever we're pulling something out of its pot and putting it into a new one, those hair roots are cut off. And the fact that you can actually use this and it helps regenerate those roots means you're going to have a stronger plant that's going to grow faster and end up being hardier for the winter. So with this product, I do use it on all new plantings, my annuals, my perennials, and my trees and shrubs, and even your house plants, you'll notice a difference. Again, just make sure that your soil is always moist before you're utilizing this. And when I'm doing mass plantings in spring in my containers, what I'll do is I'll just mix it up into a 5-gallon pail according to directions, and I'll actually just take the plants and dunk it right in. Then it goes way, way further. When we move on to organics, there is a whole difference in the way the numbers are. So you'll see numbers like 232 or 030. Ignore the numbers on organics because it's actually what's going on in the product that is making the difference. So we've got a lot of essential minerals and nutrients in here that the plants are going to love. It's going to be slower acting, definitely very safe to use. I don't think you can overdo it, but no use wasting your money. Still go according to what's on the directions. So the Earth Safe brand is one of our more popular organic one. And the reason that I like this is because all I do is keep this next to my watering can and just give it a squirt every time I water, especially with my tomatoes. So we have them for flowers, we have them for fruit trees. One of my favorites actually is the kelp. And kelp is a fertilizer, but it also has other attributes to it. It actually works as a natural fungicide. So what you can do is put it in a watering can, and say you have a plant that tends to get powdery mildew, like a salvia or whatever, you can actually pour it right over the plant before it starts getting that mildew even, and it'll take in nutrients through the leaves with the kelp. It'll also give it that little bit of protection against the mildew, as well as give it the essential nutrients at the base. With synthetics, we always recommend just doing the fertilizer, but with anything organic, it doesn't matter if it's going over the leaves also. So with kelp, it is one of our staff favorites for sure on tomatoes, etc. And I will use it in combination with the 15-30-15 without hesitation. But totally organic, this is a great choice. You can get several varieties of organics. I know Greenland does carry many varieties here, but just keep in mind that they are slower acting. So if you have a special occasion, I mean, we're not doing big group things, but if you're feeling like you want to get some flowering going on, or some, you really feel like a fruit tree needs a little bit quicker of a boost, synthetic is definitely the way to go. Again, the plants don't know the difference, you do, and they work very well in combination with each other. So that's my 101 on fertilizer. Hopefully I've talked you into the importance of them, because a plant like this, if you were not going to fertilize it and you were potting it up with all these beautiful plants from Greenland, within 3 weeks the blooms will stop and you will not see any production on them. So again, we can't do without food, and plants need it also, so it's really important. So thanks for joining me today. If you have any more questions, you certainly can go to greenlandgarden.com. We have a garden tips section, but we also are always available here to help you at Greenland, and we look forward to you visiting soon.